kind of talking a British accent.
What?
Welcome to PostGrad movie. No, that's terrible. I'm not gonna do that.
Wow.
That goes in the... I can't even hold an accent for 3 seconds.
We're actually going to start with that because that was so bad.
That was really bad. Boom! I know how to start a podcast, and that's with really, really bad accents. Put another ship on the Barbie, won't you, Wanka?
What?
Man, that's the same as the last one.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Oh.
I could talk like Christopher Walken. We could do post-grad movies. We could do that. That's not bad.
So, point is, we're post-grad. That's Cognitive Gamer. He's awful at accents.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at accents, yeah?
No.
Cool guy. Did you know?
What?
Your name's terrible.
Yeah. So, on the roster today, we actually have a couple of comments/corrections. So,
whoa! Let's start with those because we've never had them before. You can email us your comments or corrections to postgradentertainment@gmail.com. That is all one word. Also, Facebook. Facebook.com/postgradent, all one word. Or you can just search for Postgrad Entertainment in the search bar.
Yep. Exactly. Perfect. So,
yeah,
we will start with those. And actually, I want to start with one of the ones from back in the day.
Oh.
Because we were talking about, you remember the hashtag buttered toast and toast?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that because I was on vacation when that happened. Yeah. Right. So how do people comment on this really, really just emotionally draining, this highly profound, this, what's a good word for this?
He said that was literally the worst thing he had ever heard in his entire life, and he has no idea why he still listens to the podcast.
The fact that we have gone so far.
Right. The thing is, I don't know if people thought that was fake or that I was just making a joke, but I seriously feel that way about buttered toast. Legitimately. And I do not like toast with jam or any of that other dumb stuff that people put on top of toast.
Preservative?
I just prefer normal, run-of-the-mill toast with butter. And that is it. That is it.
How about French toast? Do you like that with syrup?
Okay. See, the problem with French toast is the fact that you don't actually toast, because toast is when you grab bread by itself,
right, and
you stick it into a toaster, which
you don't have to put toast into a toaster.
No.
You can do it over an open flame. You can do it on like a griddle. You can make toast any number of ways.
Oh,
how about a toaster oven? That's not exactly a toaster.
The thing is, French toast is covered in eggs, and then what you're doing is you're toasting the eggs on the outside, not the toast itself.
You toast the toast, man.
You don't toast the toast. You toast the whatever. The point is,
how about bagels?
Yeah, I like bagels. Do
you like just butter on your bagels, or do you put cream cheese on your bagel?
No, just butter. Just butter.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a monster. Have you ever had a bagel with cream cheese?
Yes.
So are you a monster? What?
Yes, I have put cream cheese on my bagel, but
and you keep calling it a bagel. The bagel. Ah.
I'm trying to keep community alive in my heart. Anyway, the point is, I have tried it with cream cheese. I have tried it with jam. I've tried it with a lot of different things. It's just way better with just straight butter.
I don't like bagels with cream cheese, Sam. I am. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Let's move on.
So, anyway.
So what's the next comment that somebody said?
No. The point is,
besides them just hating on us.
The person,
because we talk about nothing.
But it was really funny because the person was like, that was the dumbest part of the show, and besides, you're both wrong. Toast with avocado.
What? Like an avocado on the piece of toast, or like an avocado and toast?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's toast with avocado spread or something on top of it.
How about Nutella? I think Nutella just went.
Yeah, that's actually what somebody else said. Toast with Nutella. Yeah.
Or almond butter, perhaps.
What? Why?
Almond.
Get out of here. Get out of here with your
toast with almond butter.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, we're gonna keep going with another thing that people mention.
Your podcast is so bad it makes me vomit and have diarrhea simultaneously.
So Dakota Fanning's sister, who played Sleeping Beauty in the Maleficent, yep, the movie we talked about last week.
She commented on our podcast?
No.
Oh, well.
Her name is not Ellie Fanning. It is Elle Fanning. My apologies for messing up the name of a really bland character in a movie.
Jesus. Now she'll never listen to the podcast.
Well, I mean, it's true. Come on.
I don't want to ruin my chances.
Come on. Also, in that same vein, another person said that they were surprised that we rated Maleficent so high because Jolie was literally the only good part of that movie.
Yeah, but she was the entire movie.
Yeah, well, that's true. But see, the thing is, the problem with rating these movies that are just kind of entertaining is that entertaining is so subjective.
I know. And like I said, I already said my rating was completely biased just because I saw it in IMAX. And as you said before, a dog taking a shit on film would probably be enticing in an IMAX. So I already gave myself a disclaimer for the haters out there. I saw in IMAX, the special effects and the action was pretty awesome in IMAX. Okay? I'm sorry that I take things at face value and at a very shallow level of entertainment. I'm sorry that not everything that I enjoy has to be, I don't know, Pulp Fiction or what's a really profound movie?
There Will Be Blood.
Kubrick, or There Will Be Blood. Sometimes you just like seeing a skinny actress kill people with her wings. Okay?
I mean, it's also just the fact that it was a whatever movie, you know, that you would forget about it as soon as you walked out, basically.
Oh yeah, completely. And I think I stated that. Like I would never see this in anything but IMAX, and it was pretty whatever as far as story goes. That being said, I whatever. I think I gave it a 6. And is that high?
Yeah, I think we both gave it around. I think I gave it between a 50 and 60 or something like that, or 50.
Yeah, that's not high. I'm sorry. I found it like a 3 in my mind is just the worst movie, and a 1 is just a movie that can't even function as a movie.
Wow, that goes to show what you thought of the Brass Teapot.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
That movie, whatever. Anyway, so we're not.
I gave it a 3, right?
No, you gave it less than that. You said that if you could give it like a 15, you would, or something like that. You gave it like a 20-something%.
Yeah, that's like the worst movie. Same with Fly. I think I put Flypaper even below Brass Teapot.
Well, we're not getting into that. That is all in the past.
I'm just saying, movies like that, yep, you're at the bottom of the barrel. You know?
Okay, so anyway, we're gonna move on.
I just said yo. I apologize to everybody.
You just said what?
I said yo.
Well, I do apologize for. I mean, if you're apologizing for yo, you should apologize for starting the podcast with that stupid accent. Oh my god.
Those dirty wankers! So they don't even know butter toast.
What? So anyway, we're moving on into our week. We're going to keep it a bit short considering the fact that we spend so much time talking about buttered toast again.
Right.
So
my week was really boring. I was just applying for jobs and I moved back to Colorado.
Nice.
I saw Glitz and Tits this week.
Good.
Yes, my girlfriend.
For all of you that don't know, apparently we are renaming Lady A Glitz and Tits because that is her Twitter handle, and she is beating the Cognitive Gamer in followers.
It's Glitz and Tits, but Glitz is spelled with an S, not a Z, I'm pretty sure. I could be completely wrong. Anyway,
right.
So Glitz and Tits is my girlfriend, which is awkward to say because my name's the Cognitive Gamer, and hers is Glitz and Tits.
Well, I mean, that was your choice. She could have stayed EA. That sounds really film noir.
I could have chose something way more entertaining, but instead I went with the scientific route, and I don't think it's getting me as far as if I was like Ball Puncher or something.
Right.
Or V-Doge. Maybe I should just change it to V-Doge.
You mean V-Doge? right?
Oh, shut up. Anyway, so I pretty much just hung out with her and we saw a bunch of movies. How was your week before we get into that?
Okay, let's see. Well, in my week, I hung out with my brother and his girlfriend. We went around.
Yeah, you did.
It was fun. It was enjoyable. She's nice and all that jazz. So, I mean, I met her for the first time now that she finally came over here. So it's pretty cool. And another great highlight was the fact that I actually had a tiny conversation with Jim Crawford, the creator of Frog Fractions, over Twitter.
Was it just like, hey man, what up? And you're like, hey man, what up?
No, it was
what constitutes as a small conversation?
It was more like he mentioned that something that he was going to give all of the people that gave money for Frog Fractions 2 was going to be food, and it was supposed to be apparently food from Chipotle or something like that. And he said, I'm eating in Taco Bell, everyone come meet me there. And I tweeted at him saying, this just in, Frog Fractions 2 in Taco Bell, creator lies to all of his followers, or something like that. or creator lied to his funder, something like that, something stupid. And he tweeted back saying, no, I am eating Chipotle in Taco Bell.
He would.
And that's amazing. Yeah, and I tweeted back going like, Mother of God, you just want to see the world burn. And he favorited the tweet, which was really funny.
That sounds like something we should do for prom. We should get Chipotle and then go to a Taco Bell.
Go to a Taco Bell.
Like wear suits and stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
Because we're classy like that.
All right. So your week was pretty boring as well.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Jim Crawford. That was the coolest thing. On Twitter.
You should follow him at Jim Crawford.
No, actually, it's something else. It's like Mogwai Poet or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's something weird. Yeah.
But if you type in Jim Crawford, he'll pop up anyway because that's his name.
Okay, well that's good.
But yeah, that was pretty funny. It was.
I saw a lot of movies because when I usually hang out with my parents and my girlfriend, we usually just watch movies.
Right.
And a lot of movies. What did I watch? I watched something on DVD. Oh, I watched Walter Mitty. Nice. Yeah, it was okay. I don't think I'd give it as high as you, but it was pretty okay. It was a little boring.
Well, yeah, but it was a really beautiful movie. The cinematography and all that jazz was...
Yeah, it was very pretty.
It was more of a philosophical kind of thing. It was very experimental, which, I mean, I enjoyed it, you know? And it left you, like, the end, even if you knew what was going to happen, in the end, you still felt warm and fuzzy on the inside.
I wasn't paying attention. I was playing Hearthstone the whole time.
Wow. This right here, people, this right here, this is your critic, the person that texts during movies and plays Hearthstone during movies. If you want to see him playing Hearthstone, you should check out PostGrad Games on YouTube.
Plug. I also saw The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, right. So, yeah, we're moving into theaters now? Okay, so The Fault in Our Stars, which is a movie that he watched and I didn't. I actually didn't watch it because I was going to watch it yesterday, and then I thought, I just don't wanna. You know, for the first time, I was like, I just don't feel like just leaving my house. It wasn't because of the movie. It was just I don't want to leave my house. And then I thought, yeah, I'm gonna be saving money, and I might be able to see How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 22 Jump Street this week if I don't go see Fault in Our Stars. So yeah.
Well, you read the book, right?
Yeah, I read the book, so I know everything. Yeah. Anyway, so on IMDb, it has an 8.6 rating. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got an 82 with a 79 top critic score. And on Metacritic, it's got a 69%. It is directed by Josh Boone. It stars Shailene Woodley, Ansel Elgort, Nat Wolff, Laura Dern, Sam Trammell, and William Dafoe, among others. If I mispronounce any of those names, especially Ansel, you will not say anything to me. And I'm saying that right now. I do not want to receive any kind of communicado telling me that I said this actor's name wrong. Because if he has 2 or 3 consonants in a row, I can't handle it, okay? Okay, anyway, so... What is...
I just wanted to let you rant a little bit. I didn't know how long that was going to go for. I was settling in.
What is your one-sentence review?
Manipulative, tearjerker, similar to the book, but very well done. Very, very well done.
Okay, so what do you mean very...
It's a very well done interpretation of the book. Cinematography was great, but if you love the book, it's the same story. Nothing has changed, like, at all. Yeah, and moving into the discussion, it did handle the lines that we thought would be very abrupt like they are in the book, very well. It felt very natural, and I think that was his greatest attempt. Yeah, that's his greatest achievement, is the fact that it can like handle that. Because a lot of the lines that seem abrupt was kind of said by a narrator, because it's like
Oh,
her inner monologue,
right. Yeah.
which I think makes it sound very natural. And then there are some lines that just come off as kind of cheesy, but
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
So what you're
But
saying
for the most part, it's very well done.
so what you're saying is basically that what we saw in the trailer was just that feeling that I got where it was just cringe-worthy dialogue because of the way that it was structured and the way it was delivered by the actors. It wasn't necessarily the actors' fault. It was more the editing of the actual trailer itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because like context helps a lot, right?
Right.
So like one of those lines without the conversation happening just kind of makes it feel weird.
So basically, that trailer was just pornography for everyone that likes John Green. It was
Oh,
basically
totally.
feeding the fire.
I think that was that was their point. So yeah, the movie was very well done. It was very well put together. It's very pretty, but it's still the same manipulative story of. When I say manipulative, I mean it doesn't feel natural in the way that it makes you cry. It feels like we're gonna show you this in order to make you. I don't. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel.
Right. And you've
It
talked about
feels
this
almost forced.
You've talked about this
Yeah,
before that you don't like
and
movies that say we're gonna purposefully give you something to make you cry. Now cry.
it's like completely expected,
Right.
and yeah, I think it's been its biggest criticism across the board. But that's just the story, right? Like
Right.
that is the book. That is The Fault in Our Stars. It's a little bit sappy. But I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything. One, because you haven't seen the movie, and two, if you haven't read the movie or whatever, you have to see it.
You haven't read the movie? Oh man, I would love to read a movie. Do they have something where it allows me to read a movie? Is that a
It's called
convention?
script or subtitles. Stop being an asshole. You can either read the book or have watched the movie. I would like to say that I caught a lot more of the symbolism in the book that totally just went over my head. And I don't know if it's because I already read the book, so I already knew the story and I didn't have to pay attention to that, or it was just a lot more in your face in this one. Like the symbolism of the cigarette, you know,
Right.
of it being he puts the thing that kills him between his teeth, but he doesn't light it, which doesn't kill him. And it's like, oh, well, Hazel totally did that with Augustus because she let him in and
Yeah.
then it killed her,
Yeah.
right? And then not literally, that is not a spoiler.
She
The
she
kids with cancer.
she quite literally put him between her lips
Oh God.
and
Stop.
and
Stop.
lit him, and it was a
Stop.
fiery, passionate night, and that was it.
Anyway,
It was so literal. That's wonderful. I actually didn't think of it that way. Good call. Thank you for
good call.
saying lips again.
And then also I think the biggest one is that there was a reference to God, I forget his name, but this is not a pipe and it shows a picture of a pipe, right?
Yeah.
Which is essentially saying it's a picture of a pipe, which makes it not a pipe, right?
Yeah.
So this is strictly fiction. And Will Dafoe's character pretty much is the epitome of like the skeptical type of author who's like there is no hope, there will never be hope, this is what life is, and life is only life, and fiction is only fiction,
So
essentially.
so wait a second. William Dafoe. When I saw that, I didn't know that he was in the
Oh
movie. Was
yeah, Will Dafoe is the author of Imperial Affliction.
really he's the author?
He does it greatly. He is just creepy enough to play that character well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we talked about this when we were talking about what the Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, he was so
That
creepy.
he's such a creepy dude.
He's just a creepy dude. So yeah, he plays the author of Imperial Inflection, and essentially he's like the skeptical author who only finds like the negative in life.
Right.
And I think the point of him being linked to this is not a pipe, type of mentality is the fact that John Green's trying to say, yeah, these characters are fiction, they're not real, but what they're experiencing and the pain that they feel in people related to this is very much real. So yeah, this is a work of fiction, but it is real.
Right.
So it may not be a picture of a pipe, but that pipe still might have attitudes and emotions that are very much real.
Yeah.
These are fictional kids with cancer, but lives similar to this is very much real. And I think that's what John Green's trying to say.
Yeah.
Pain demands to be felt. Cool guy. So I think that was pretty powerful, and I think it got the messaging, and I think that was pretty profound. And I think that's what truly makes The Fault in Our Stars one of the best books in a very long time, was the fact that it was able to actually balance. Like, when I first read it, I'm like, what is the point of this author dude? Like, there's something more here, and I just could never figure it out, besides maybe he's just the guy that symbolizes no hope and Hazel symbolizes hope, you know?
Yeah.
I think there was a lot more at work there. And then there's some other symbolism, like with Anne Frank and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Yeah, so I got that a lot more clearly in the movie than I did in the book. So that was nice.
Right.
And I think the visuals just helped with that. So, yeah, it's a good movie. I'd probably give it around 7 to an 8. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
so if you...
I'd rent it. I mean, like, there's no point in watching in the theater. I mean, Glitz and Tits cried the entire time.
Well, of course she did. She loved
literally the entire time. Like 10 minutes into the movie till the end of the movie, it was just tear factory. Yeah, and the best part was there's a guy like a couple rows ahead of me, and he went with like 2 women, well, 2 girls. They were like 14. You know, it was a group of 14-year-olds essentially. And one girl next to him started crying, and he looks over at her and he's like, "What the?" And then he hears like sniffles from the other side of him, and he looks back and he's like, "Why?" And he's just so confused in why everybody is crying.
Wait, did you cry?
I teared up, but only at one part. So
okay, spoilers. What part?
You know what part?
Oh, at the end, as soon as
you know exactly. Like that is definitely the saddest part of that entire movie.
Well, yeah.
And I definitely teared up, but I wasn't as sad as I thought I would be. Quite honestly, right. It's definitely a work of hope.
I mean, I didn't really cry in the book itself either. So
I mean, I think I teared up for sure. Again, it was at the same part. You know, it's very sad.
I'm just a cynical piece of crap. That's what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much. But a movie we did see together is The Flintstones Go to Rock Vegas.
Is Edge of Tomorrow.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And that movie has an 8.2 on IMDb. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got an 89 with an 86 top critics. And on Metacritic, it's got a 71%. It is directed by Doug Liman. It stars Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, Brendan Gleeson, Bill Paxton, Jonas Armstrong, Tony Way, Kik Guri, Franz Dragomir Mersch, Charlotte Riley, and Masayoshi Riley, along with Noah Taylor. I wanted to mention all of the people that were part of the platoon in general, because I liked all...
Platoon 7.
Right. J Squadron. Because I liked all of their characters. They were pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty great. They're very well written.
Yeah. So anyway, what is your one sentence review?
A mix of Groundhog's Day and Starship Troopers, and done very well in both those. Like, it combined genres very well. And maybe the tone is not Starship Trooper, but at the same time it kind of is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a military alien like military alien invasion that's been played out 100 times before and kind of ridiculous. It combined both genres pretty well, but maybe Starship Trooper would have too much of a light tone, like kind of humorous tone, as compared to Edge of Tomorrow. But it was quite a humorous movie as well. I don't know. I think I'll stick with my description. How about you?
There were some scenes, like when he rolled over and got run over by the car.
and the guy was like, "What were you thinking?"
Anyway, so my one sentence review is, it's like Groundhog Day, but modernized, and a super sweet idea for a sci-fi.
Yeah. So it is nice to say that this is based off an anime.
All You Need Is Kill is what the name is.
Is it an anime, or is it like a graphic novel?
All You Need Is Kill is manga. So let's go ahead and get started talking about it. So how do we even approach this movie? It's basically going to be spoilers all around, because first off, I'm just going to get this right out there. I love this movie. This movie was awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
So
if Tits and Tits likes it, it's automatically better than most movies.
Of course. So, yes, first off, I want to talk about the actual aliens. How cool were they?
They were like evil tumbleweeds.
They were. It was the craziest thing. Oh my god. I just love how they would yell and they would just roll around. It was insane.
And they can bury themselves. And yeah.
I was definitely not expecting that.
They looked kind of like neurons, and maybe that was the point.
Yeah, they look like dendrites.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was...
But evil tumbleweeds, I think, is a more accurate description.
Right.
Because that's how they move around.
They do. It's just rolling like with the spikes and moving around. Oh, but it was so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, it wasn't a cliche alien.
Right.
It was definitely original, which is what I really liked about it.
And I think what really works with those aliens specifically is the fact that even when they first showed up, it still had that mystery of what they looked like because they were moving so fast that you couldn't focus on them.
Right.
You know, because the reveal of the alien or the reveal of the monster is a big part of a movie. And a lot of movies tend to just show the alien in the beginning, and you're like, okay, cool. This one managed to show what the alien was, to show it in frame and killing and hurting people, and yet not reveal what the alien looked like.
Right.
So it made you feel like it's this insanely powerful force, but you cannot attach any looks to it yet. So when the first time he landed on the beach and the alien came out of the ground and started killing everyone, he couldn't see it, and it was destroying everyone, and you got that sense of fear because you had no idea what the aliens were capable of, and they did that really well. You did not know what the aliens were capable of until you got onto the beach.
Right, and that movie did dramatic tension very, very well. Like, the first time he was going onto the beach, like, that was like chair gripping. Like, I grabbed the seat.
This is gonna sound a little bit weird, but it did the whole D-Day thing so well.
I mean, and I agree. It was very much. I think I took inspiration from Saving Private Ryan,
right,
for sure. I mean, did you notice the scene of the guy on fire?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, how did he catch on fire? And that was like, wait, that's totally just a nod to Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it did tension very well. I mean, that scene, the final scene, like, it did action so well. And it was combined with a very smart and intriguing story, and I think that's what makes this sci-fi very effective. Probably Tom Cruise's best movie in a while. Probably since Ghost Protocol, I imagine.
Yeah, probably.
And even I would say it's better than Ghost Protocol, so.
It was just such a cool idea. And the way that they went about doing it, the way that they explained the actual... Okay, so I'm gonna spoil it really quick. So the aliens, they basically evolved to be able to use time warping to go back in time with all of the knowledge from that future and be able to counteract everything because they were essentially an entire neural net. And that was so cool. That was such a cool idea.
Like I said, it was very smartly done. It was, I mean, it's been done before where like all the aliens are linked, so if one thing dies, they all die. But I think it explained it a little more in depth than they're just connected.
But at the same time, it still kept that cornerstone of sci-fi, which is something that I've talked about before, which is in sci-fi, you can explain a little bit of the science, you can just say the science, but do not try and explain how it works.
Right. I mean, they literally just said, this alien can control time, and now you're part of it. So therefore, you can kind of control time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was like, the blood fell on you, which was a terrifying scene.
Oh, that was great, though.
It was. So your blood has their blood. You're basically kind of one of their alphas. So if you die, everything gets reset because that's how they evolved. That is how you do sci-fi.
But not only that, he was like the lead alpha.
Yeah.
So they only would reset on his command.
Because
it was hinted at, like, humanity has the power to absorb their power, essentially.
Right. With the original, I mean, with Emily Blunt being able to win the previous battle. Or not really win, but win, quote-unquote, the previous battle.
Well,
by absorbing the power as well. And can we say, she was badass.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She was... I love the scene that they showed over and over again, which was the bus driving by that said Full Metal Bitch.
That's totally what they called it, a Full Metal Bitch.
Right, yeah.
God, it was just so... You can definitely see the influences of anime in it as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the cinematography and kind of like... there's kind of a hue put over it. It reminded me of Pacific Rim, actually. Kind of like the exaggerated black lines.
Oh, and something else.
Or outlines. Exaggerated black outlines.
Loved, which we were talking about before. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, then last week, and now this week again. I loved the practical effects. I love them. They were actually wearing the suits. The suits were real.
Yeah.
They were wearing them, they built them, and it gave these people a sense of being attached to something, which is awesome. It's fantastic.
And how crazy is Tom Cruise doing all his stunts?
Right?
Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Tom Cruise, man. Tom Cruise.
Say what you want about him, but he's a pretty good actor.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a crazy dude. Crazy. But
which maybe makes his acting better. So
yeah, right? Yeah.
I bet he's really nice. I bet just hanging out with him would be and multiple hours of just delight, and then he would just say that one thing, and you're like, oh, this guy's a little bit off.
Yeah, he'd be the type of person that hangs out with you and is an awesome person, and then drops the "Would you like to know more about Jesus Christ" kind of thing, except for Scientology.
Yeah. Oh, praise Cthulhu. Oh. And then you'd start laughing. He's like, "Why are you laughing?" And then you'd be like, "Oh, this isn't a joke."
And tentacles would sprout out of under his chin.
So anyway, Evil Tumbleweeds versus Tom Cruise, the movie mixed with Groundhog Day, which is one of my favorite movies. I loved Groundhog Day. So
I think I'm gonna call the podcast that Evil Tumbleweeds versus Tom Cruise.
Please do. I loved Glitz and Tits. She movies. She was never really into them until she started dating me. So she has but she never watched good movies. Okay.
Right.
So
you mentioned the thing about her family being all about the minority sports movies.
I turned on Teen Nick and it was Hey Arnold, and she's like, I hated the show. I'm like, what? And she's like, I was never allowed to watch it. I was like, what? And then Rugrats came on, and she was like, I don't like the show either.
What?
Yeah, man. She was deprived. I know. I'm struggling just to get her into Adventure Time, which is just so well done. I think she would love Rick and Morty, though.
Oh.
I think I might start her off there because she just got into God, what is it called? Workaholics. Anyway, yes. So Edge of Tomorrow, very good movie. I'd probably give it an 8 to a 9.
I don't think it is. Sadly, one of my soft spots, because I'm usually a very pompous, I guess, person when it comes to movies, and I'm like,
oh shit, really? I didn't know that about you.
Well, you too. We're both.
My mind exploded from knowledge bombs.
We're both just like greater than thou when it comes to good movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And I mean that happened pretty much for a good 10 podcasts in a row when we were going like, it's not Gravity, hark,
Oh, I know.
And I mean, in their defense, they weren't like
Gravity. It was Gravity. Yeah. Right. Which my aunt watched and she was like, it was all right. I didn't get it. I'm like, damn it.
So she's gonna.
But then again,
those once removed aunts.
No. I love her, but I can totally understand. If you watch Gravity, I can totally see how it can, the reasons we liked it may not apply to the normal person watching a movie. The reasons we watched it got very technical, and I could see, not a very small percentage of people probably can share that with us.
Right, but she probably also watched it on a tiny television.
Yeah, totally. And I said that to her. I'm like, I saw this in a theater in 3D, and it was one of the most fun experiences of my life. Okay, maybe not of my life, but definitely of that year. So, and that competes with Disney World. So,
but anyway,
yeah.
The point that I was trying to get at is the fact that one of my soft spots is really
the top of your head
is
you're like a baby.
Damn it, is really good sci-fi or action.
Mm-hmm.
Really when it's done really well, that's one of my soft spots because I love it, but it especially extends to sci-fi.
Right,
and
right.
This sci-fi had everything that I would love, or everything that gets me, which is good monsters, good aliens, something really cool biologically, which it's awesome for me.
Yep.
Fantastic action and direction, and Tom Cruise.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Because
okay.
What you were saying is true. He's a good actor, and the greatness of this movie came from the fact that in the beginning he was just such a despicable twerp, and you just hated him. He was one of those pompous guys that was trying to get ahead and not do stuff by just being cocky, and he was
a coward,
and he was inexperienced, and you just hated him. And you lived with him through all of these times, and he just got better and better slowly and slowly. And it was great because eventually you stopped seeing a lot of the times that he died and repeated things.
Oh, that was very smart of that movie, was just to like it established the rules, and it did that, and then it just assumed that you knew the rules for the rest of the movie.
Exactly. And then at that moment, spoilers, when he was talking to Emily Blunt in the actual farmhouse.
Oh my God!
And he said, "Oh, you like it, with the sugars? Oh, this type of thing." And she said, "How many times have we done this?" Right? And you started realizing that they had been there tons of times. And then when he like almost broke down, telling her that there was no way for her to survive this encounter.
Right.
It was just so, you felt that he had been there, and you felt that he was trying his hardest to help her live.
Right. And that was like the best part of the movie, was the fact that it can not only play off the fact that like you're seeing it from his perspective, right? You're seeing it from Tom Cruise's perspective of this is what it feels like to die over and over and over again. But it also played it from other people experiencing his experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you saw it from Emily Blunt's experience being with somebody who's been here over and over again, and it played off that tension very well. Which I think is fresh, because I don't think in Groundhog's Day it changed perspectives like that.
No.
Which I thought was very refreshing.
Yeah, what you're saying is that it did really well involving other people in the consequences of him having those powers.
Right, exactly. Like, it shifted away from him to her.
And to his group, by extension. Like, the entire beginning of the movie when he discovered his powers was basically him trying to save his crew.
Yeah.
And I mean, that also offered a lot of funny parts, like when he tried to save the dude that was like, yeah, we made it, and he just like tried to knock him out of the way, but instead they both got crushed.
No, I think only he got crushed, and then he like looked back, the big fat guy was like, what? Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that movie was great.
But see, that in the beginning of him trying to save everyone, it was almost like that scene in Shaun of the Dead, which was him walking out of his house in the beginning, and you see a lot of people that he usually talks to and hangs out with, and then he grabs the soda, pays, and then leaves again back to his house. And then you see that scene again after the zombie attack, but everyone has been replaced with zombies, and he still doesn't notice.
Right.
You remember that scene? So
yes.
So they basically did the same thing, except they used the beginning to set up how he was as a person beforehand, a coward, and then a person trying to kind of save the people once he saw them start dying and start getting to know them. He was trying to save them, but then in the end, after he got really jaded of everything that was going on and not being able to save Emily Blunt, you just saw him land on the beach and just walk straight through everybody. And you saw the dude getting crushed, and you saw everyone getting massacred, and he was just straight-faced walking through them. And that was a really powerful scene.
Totally. I completely agree. Same with Groundhog's Day. It handled the emotional impact of living the same day over and over and over again very well, which I think plays to its strength. It was able to handle not only this time-turning type of scenario emotionally, but it was also used as a plot device, and I think that's great.
Yep.
I think it was a great movie. So what do you give it, a 10? Give it an 11?
No,
give it 10 Tom Cruises out of 10 Tom Cruises?
No, come on. It is no gravity. So
oh, Jesus Christ.
I would honestly give it like a 90 to a 95. It is right below X-Men Days of Future Past.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know which one I enjoyed more. I would probably put them on par, actually.
I think I enjoyed Days of Future Past better, but that's because Days of Future Past was so emotionally powerful.
God, they both were just so good. But I would probably both give them 90s.
I gave Days of Future Past a 95. So I'm going 90 to 95 on this one. Maybe like a 92, 93, but definitely higher than it has.
But again, we're suckers for sci-fi and action.
Man, it was just point is, go watch it, because this movie needs to make money. It's not making that much money.
Is it not?
And the reason why it's not making that much money, in my opinion, is because of The Fault in Our Stars. Because The Fault in Our Stars made a killing on the first day and then just dropped precipitously the next couple of days. Because the money that The Fault in Our Stars made was specifically from pre-sales. So everyone went to see it on opening day, and then no one else went to see it. But that sucked off money from Edge of Tomorrow. And Edge of Tomorrow is so good, and we need more original sci-fis. Or not original, so to speak, but we need more groundbreaking sci-fis, because they've sort of devolved into just carnage over the years, and I really want some awesome sci-fis like this.
What do you mean into carnage? What do you call Star Trek? Into darkness?
Dude, I'm saying specifically a little bit more original than that. You know, not just a reboot of something that was before. Yes, Star Trek Into Darkness was great, but you know what I'm talking about. Right. Point is, we need more awesome sci-fis or awesome action movies that aren't just stupid, like, I don't know, Pain and Gain. So, you know...
Oh my god, yeah. Jesus.
Come on. Anyway.
It is also to note, so this movie has not come out worldwide quite yet, so I'm sure it'll make more money, especially when it hits Japan.
Oh, yeah. And, by the way, in Japan, the movie is still called All You Need Is Kill.
Yeah. I think they even called the graphic novel here in America Edge of Tomorrow.
But, yeah, the point is, to anyone that is listening to this podcast that has not seen the movie, we haven't spoiled the ending, so please go watch it.
Hey, guess what? The ending. Let's spoil it. I'm just kidding.
I mean, okay. Spoiler, this is going to be the ending.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Spoiler, this is going to be the ending. Jump ahead maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. It won't be more than that. So, about the ending, I think, in my opinion, that they should have just let them both die and seen the world basically without them.
But how are they going to have a sequel?
They don't need a sequel. The point is, they should have had them both die, which is what happened, but not have him go all the way back in time. Just like have them both die and have it be like everyone in the world is happy and they're going like, oh my god, we don't have to attack him anymore, specifically because they all of a sudden just all exploded and they all died or whatever. And it's like their legacy that no one will ever know. That's sort of a feeling like it was them.
That's pretty much what happened, though I agree the ending was almost too happy for a pretty dark movie.
It was a dark movie, yeah.
I thought what happened was that the creature exploded, and then as like a last line of defense, used Tom Cruise as a host to turn back, and then he was at the very beginning all over again, and the big creature was still alive.
Exactly. I was thinking the exact same thing, and then when it didn't happen, I was like, oh man, I kind of felt relief, but then at the same time, I was like, oh man, you know.
I'm sure there's alternate endings, and I'm sure they didn't test as well with early audiences. So
right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, it was a cool ending. I still, whatever, go watch the movie. Anyway.
Okay.
So moving on to our Netflix movie spotlight, totally not sponsored by Netflix. Yes.
Oh, God.
We have Dear Mr. Watterson, a documentary about the Calvin and Hobbes artist.
But not really.
What do you mean not really? That is exactly.
He wasn't even in the documentary.
But it is a documentary about his impact on everybody. Anyway.
There we go. But I think that's a better way of describing it. Because it's not about him. Yeah. It's about his work and his impact.
Right. All right, on IMDb, it's got a 6.2. On Rotten Tomatoes, a 63 with a 42 top critics. And on Metacritic, it's got a 54%. It is directed by Joel Allen Schroeder. And it stars, and by stars, I mean a couple of the people that they interviewed, because there's a ton of them, is Berkeley Breathed, Seth Green, Stefan Pastis, and Bill Amend. I just put 4 of them, or 3 or 4 of them, so that you could get the idea. But they were all people that they interviewed. So anyway, one sentence review.
A proverbial circle jerk for Calvin and Hobbes.
Really, there's nothing more I can add. That is exactly what it is. So anyway, let's actually get talking about it. So I don't know how we can approach this, because it felt like an overlong documentary about Calvin and Hobbes. I mean, I liked it. Not really liked it. I liked it. It was nice. I love me Calvin and Hobbes, but
it was just kind of like every single interview was Calvin and Hobbes is great. Yep, Calvin and Hobbes is great. Calvin and Hobbes is great. Did you know that Calvin and Hobbes is great? And also, it's like, dude, I could just read the book and I would get that impression. This was nothing new. This was nothing exciting, and it was a pointless documentary. It was absolutely pointless.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was. At the same time, it was It was somewhat enjoyable. It was pretty happy, and they did
some parts of it were intriguing, like the whole thing about Bill Watterson not accepting
exactly.
merchandising, which I think was the best part of the entire documentary because that was new and a take on something we didn't already know. All the other parts were kind of like Calvin and Hobbes inspired me to get these tattoos of Calvin and Hobbes on my arm. I'm like, I don't give a care. I don't give a shit about your tattooed arms. And I'm sorry to sound harsh, but it's like I feel one of the main things a documentary should be able to achieve is to add a new perspective to a problem we already knew or give light to an issue that we didn't already know about.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And all this movie did was basically, I guess it was this one dude, I guess the director maybe, this one dude's love for Calvin and Hobbes, and he just wanted to express how much he loves it.
And maybe that's what this was. I mean, he called it Dear Mr. Watterson. Maybe it was like, yo, here's a movie showing how much impact you have. Please come back.
Actually, after the end credits, there was a thing where he was walking with one of the people that he was interviewing. And as he was walking down the street, he was saying, have you ever tried to write to Bill Watterson? And the guy said, no, I've never tried. But I do have a Word document on my computer that has just one line on it. And it says, Dear Mr. Watterson. And I've never written anything on it. And they both started laughing, it's one of those things where it's like, this is basically a love letter, fan mail.
Totally. That's what
to Bill Watterson that he might never see, or if he does see, he will probably never respond to it.
Yep. Which is really sad, right? Like, I feel maybe one of the reasons that he left was just that he was so jaded by the whole experience.
That last comic, though, is all of the feels.
Yeah.
Though I see this is coming from at least from someone on my end. I love Calvin and Hobbes. I have a ton of their books, and it's something very personal to me. Just like a lot of the people in the documentary. But at the same time, I still don't necessarily see the point of the documentary, like you were saying.
Right. What did you feel? Let's talk about the most interesting part, which was Watterson turning down the merchandising, and he walked away from hundreds of millions of dollars.
Could you?
Hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, that's crazy.
Right. Well, I think, see, the thing is, as soon as you merchandise something and as soon as it becomes a, copyrighted material, basically, like really powerfully copyrighted material, then you sort of limit the creativity and the expression of just people in general, which is something that I think it wasn't mentioned in the movie, but it was kind of shown a little bit, where yes, you do get some people being stupid, like getting the Calvin peeing on something of a car or whatever, or the Calvin kneeling in front of a cross. They have those things which are just stupid. Like,
yeah, but he didn't make those.
Exactly. No, I'm saying like the derivative work, but at the same time, it allows for the creative expression of so many different people, and by that I mean it allows people to sort of do derivative work without necessarily caring too much about getting sued. And what has come from Calvin and Hobbes is a ton of people showing their love for Calvin and Hobbes through a ton of different mediums, whether it is art, whether it is getting dressed up, whether it is animation, and when it had that entire sequence of a lot of different derivative Calvin and Hobbes works that weren't from Bill Watterson or anyone involved over there, it came across as not people trying to steal Calvin and Hobbes. It came across as people trying to emulate it and to give sort of an homage to Calvin and Hobbes because they love it so much.
Yeah, but you could still do that even if there is merchandising. Like look at Nintendo stuff that's been merchandised to death, and there's still fan paintings or whatever made every single day. I mean, you could look at Disney, who's also merchandised up to the butt, but there's still fan pictures and homages all over the place. And I feel like merchandising is just like you didn't have to take it to the extreme that maybe Peanuts did, which was MetLife and then tons of TV shows and a movie or whatever. But I think that dude had a point where he was like, "How about just a Hobbs doll? Like, what kid wouldn't want a Hobbs doll?" And I'm like, "Damn, I want a Hobbs doll!" Like, like even something as small and as stupid as that would have been. I almost feel like not really a detriment to your art, but more of like Bill Watterson saying thank you to my fans. And I think that's something Watterson never did. And then that was never really said in the movie because it was trying to display it in a positive light. But Watterson never said, "Thank you for reading. Thank you for enjoying these
He did.
These characters."
They had a quote where he was saying that.
Kind of, right? But it was never like, he's like, he appreciated it, he got it, he nodded to them, but it was never like, here's something in return, you know?
He gave us Calvin and Hobbes, dude.
Yeah, but 15 years later, man.
Someone is jaded.
He hasn't made Calvin and Hobbes in 15 years. Actually, longer than that.
Well, he was secretly drawing a comic.
For Pearls and Swine?
Yeah.
Or whatever? Yeah. That's still not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. I know what you mean.
It's like Seinfeld. Like, even Larry David came out with a new episode, kind of. I don't know.
But this is a topic that has no really clear-cut answer, you know? It was just his personal choice, and honestly, I respect it. I can understand where he was coming from, and considering the fact that he's such a recluse, I mean, I can get why he wouldn't do this type of thing.
But for millions of dollars?
We know you're a sellout, COG Games.
Ah, I totally am. It's quite a shame.
All right. Anyway, so what do you think of this movie? What would you rate it?
Like a 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think I would put this movie at about a 5 or so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice, and it's Calvin and Hobbes, and it was pretty. So, anyway, moving on to new on DVD and Blu-ray and theater. Starting with DVD and Blu-ray, we have Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, which we talked about before in another podcast.
Jack Ryan.
We also have Nonstop, which is also another that we talked about in the podcast previously. Yeah. We have Devil's Knot, Haunt, Adult World, Omar, A Short History of Decay, and The Redemption of Henry Meyers. So,
wait, is the movie called Omar: A Short History of Decay?
No, it's Omar. Just Omar. I believe that was one of the ones that was nominated, a foreign film that was nominated for an Oscar. I believe. I
think you're wrong.
Pretty sure it was, but we never got to see it. Anyway. New to theaters, we have 22 Jump Street, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and in limited release, all of the following: Hellion, The Rover, and The Signal.
What happens if you're not in 22 Jump Street?
What happens? Anyway, I am going to definitely watch 22 Jump Street because I was an extra in that movie. If you want to see shots or photos from on set, you can check out PostGrad Entertainment on Facebook. There's a photo album with behind-the-scenes stuff. I posted it specifically right before it came out so that it would not detract from anything and try and get you all to want to go see it because it was a fun experience. So
once if you're not in the movie, how sad would you be on a scale from 0 to sad?
I wouldn't be that sad, really. It was a lot of fun, and I got paid. So
I guess that makes up for it.
I mean, seriously, I got to talk to and hang out with some cool people. A lot of the extras are really nice people. And I got to get shoved over and over and over again by Channing Tatum. I got to talk to Meyers. I got to hang out with the directors and talk to them. I mean, that was awesome. The directors, okay, Channing Tatum, it's cool or whatever. The directors did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. How freaking cool is that? You know? Right. Like, everyone was taking pictures with Channing Tatum or Stromare, and after I did that, the directors were just walking around with martini glasses, and I was like, it's them. So, come on, you know?
By the way, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 is on Netflix, I believe.
Really? Yes, it is. You're right. But yes, anyway, I wouldn't be that disappointed. I mean, I'd be kind of disappointed, but not really. I mean, point is, I'm going to go see it, and I'm probably going to enjoy it. So...
Because you're biased. Already you're talking like you're biased.
Oh, or I might go in just so happy and so expectant and just hate the entire thing. So, yeah. But then again, I doubt it. The directors are really funny. So yeah, watching that and How to Train Your Dragon 2.
I'll see. I'll see what happens just because I'm going to be out of town all weekend. So except for Father's Day, but it's Father's Day, and then I might have a job. So I'm going to a bachelor party tomorrow.
Oh, right. Where are you going to go eat wings?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Ooh.
I need to text him for the plans.
Anyway, moving on to news, we have, this is not really movie news, but I kind of want to say it because it's awesome. Netflix is rebooting the Magic School Bus.
What?
Right?
Cool.
It's going to be, I think...
First Reading Rainbow and now Magic School Bus?
Yep. So anyway, that's really cool. And I'm kind of excited because Magic School Bus, man. Magic School Bus.
All right, let's move into some real news.
Anyway, so the Avatar sequels there's apparently going to be 3 Avatar sequels, and they are all going to have Sigourney Weaver. So, cool. That's cool, I guess. The first Avatar was all right. I don't think it was anything special apart from the special effects. It was cool. I mean, I guess I'll see the other ones.
Can Avatar 2 be set on Titanic?
Oh my god. Anyway, it's whatever. I'm probably going to see the other Avatars, but I don't think they need 3 other ones. Just make it a freaking trilogy.
Totally. You think James Cameron's going to direct all of them?
Yeah, he is, but
I think he gets replaced by the third one, and he's just like, I'm done with this.
Probably. All right. Anyway, and also we have 3 trailers. So Cognitive Game, could you click on the first link?
How did you like that trailer that I sent you?
Wait, which one?
The as above, so
as
below.
Above, so below. Oh well, like I mentioned before, it was all right.
Oh, it's so good.
You saw it in IMAX though. It
was so creative. Okay, I'm gonna watch the interview now.
All right, so this is the trailer for The Interview.
So I saw it.
Okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, right. That's exactly how I feel.
It looks like Pineapple Express mixed with World Police, or what the hell is that movie called? From the South Park people. Yeah.
I mean, it's cool because it's an original idea.
Not really.
Yeah, it is. They're both people that do interviews, like they're professional interview people, but for celebrities and all that jazz. So they go to interview him and they're tasked with killing him.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a decently original idea. And I mean, I don't know how it'll be executed, but it just seems overall kind of crazy.
Yeah, it seems okay. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of Pineapple Express.
Right.
And that's what it kind of reminds me of. So.
All right. So, next trailer is for Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. So click the next link.
Do all you do is watch movie trailers?
Yes.
Is that like what you do all day?
Yes.
That looks really pretty.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love the experimental cinematography.
It's really hyper real and really crazy. It looks so comic booky. I think even sometimes more so than the first one. It looks very stylized.
Oh yeah, extremely so. Yeah, so maybe do you think it'll go overboard? Because the first one was done very subtly, and used to enhance the story, like the yellow green dude.
Right.
Or do you think it's just going to be over the top and Robert Rodriguez just going overboard again?
I think it's definitely going to be overboard, but I think it'll be overboard in a good way. Maybe not better than the first one, but definitely overboard in a good way. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like there were some scenes and some shots that were great.
Yeah. All right, so the third one?
All right, the third one. I'm not going to say what movie it is. You are just going to watch it.
Oh, dear God. That looks really stupid.
It does. Okay, so the trailer was for Dumb and Dumber 2, and 2 is written T-O. So this trailer is exactly what you said. It looks stupid, dumb, raunchy, gross, and I am going to watch this movie.
No, I don't know.
I totally am. Oh my god. That was literally the best way to start the trailer. It was him walking into, what was it, a mental clinic or something? And going like, hey, are you okay or whatever? And he's like, nah, I was just faking it. You were faking it for 20 years? Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I love. It's explaining away things that happen in a movie by being hilarious. And it's like they did that in Emperor's New Groove when Kronk and Yzma got hit by lightning and they fell, and Kuzco beat them to the top, and all of a sudden you see that Kronk and Yzma got there before, and they say, how did you get there? And they go, Kronk, how did we get there? And he starts explaining this really convoluted thing, and then goes, basically it makes no sense. And Yzma says, oh well, and then they keep going. That is the type of stuff that I find hilarious. And I think that was insanely well executed because it was so stupid and so great.
Yeah, do you think it's Jim Carrey's return to really stupid?
Yes, definitely.
I really...
That one scene.
I hope he comes back to comedy.
Dude, that one scene with the dust.
Oh, gross. I really do hope he goes back to comedy. I mean, he's not dead yet. So.
No, definitely. And all of these trailers are obviously linked in the description, so you can check them out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Dumb and Dumber 2. It just feels exactly like what you would expect from Dumb and Dumber, which is kind of awesome and very nostalgic. So we'll see.
All right, so let's move on to news. I just sent you a link to a story, but you can see it in the link, what it is, but I need you to look at it, what it is.
Oh my god.
Isn't it so cute?
That is hilarious.
It's so adorable.
So apparently there is Sharknado merchandise, which it has an adorable shark in a tornado made of water, it looks like.
Well, it's a vinyl. It's a vinyl figurine.
Okay, there we go, yes. And
it just looks so adorable.
And also some apparently looking little kid pajamas, which you will definitely be buying.
No, what? No. It looks like something they would sell at Walmart.
It does.
Yeah.
That's really funny. But I mean, honestly, you're going to have to drum up hype considering the fact that the movie's coming out in July, and I'm pretty sure it's going to start filming like next week and wrap next week.
Yeah. And then Sharknado 3 probably comes out in August.
Yeah, just give enough time, like a week for those special effects. But yeah, anyway, any more news?
So, what is Blue and enjoys chili dogs?
I don't know.
Sonic the Hedgehog, and he's getting a movie.
He's getting a movie?
He's getting a movie.
How?
What do you mean how? They're making a full live-action CGI animated hybrid.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's gonna be stupid, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, that's that.
That's it? No more news?
Yeah, there not really a lot of has happened over the last week in movies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, how can we end on the Sonic live that just sounds like that just sounds like Who Framed Roger Rabbit mixed with Porky's or something like that. I don't even know.
Oh god, that would be terrible.
I don't even
we can talk about E3 if you'd like.
No,
So,
it's fine.
Games
it's fine.
were announced.
Anyway, that's what the YouTube channel is for. You can check us out on PostGrad Games on YouTube. We also have the old episodes of this very podcast on there. So if you want to jump ahead of
this one we're recording right now?
Yeah, right.
Whoa. Oh my god.
So anyway, if you want to jump over our inane stupid banter like what you just heard, you can always click on the links in the description and it'll jump you to the relevant sections of the podcast. You can also email us at postgradentertainment@gmail.com, which we said beforehand earlier in the podcast. Give us comments, tips, suggestions, corrections, transgressions,
praise. We love praise.
And you can also find us on Facebook at PostGrad Entertainment or facebook.com/PostGradENT. And check out, we post a bunch of trailers up there, we post photos, and we ask you guys different things and all that, and any type of fun stuff that we're doing, you will know about through there. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Rightpad. You can follow him on Twitter at Cognitive Gamer. You cannot follow his girlfriend at Glitz and Tits. And you can also check out VPOgames.com, which is our awesome sponsor. And I think that about covers it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so thank you all for listening.
Top of the morning to you, Governor. Wow. That was a great podcast we just recorded, don't you think?
See you, or hear you, or we're going to give you the podcast next week.
Cheerio.